Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Soy Lamin y bienvenidos a Afro Spanish, Mr. Rainbow and the Colors. Now, learning the Spanish vocabularies can be very beneficial for so many reasons. And one of those reasons is that it can help increase your confidence. But learning the Spanish vocabularies can sometimes be tedious or boring. And that's the reason why we are going to be using story to build our vocabulary. So this is going to be our first lesson where we are going to be using story to build our vocabulary. And the first lesson is going to be about Spanish colors. So let's not waste any more time and let's begin with the story.
Mr. Rainbow wanted his house to be painted. He asked the painter to paint the outside
blanco y negro.
He wanted his son's room to be painted
Rojo y azul.
and his daughter's room to be painted
Amarillo y rosa.
He wanted the kitchen to be
Verde y amarillo.
and the bathroom to be
Anaranjado y rojo.
and when it comes to the living room and the dining room, he wanted the living room to be painted
Azul cielo.
and the dining room to be painted.
Azul marino.
As for the hallway and the guest room, he said,
Marrón.
for the hallway and
Rosa.
for the guest room. Now, as for the room that belongs to him and his wife, he wanted it to be painted
Gris y morado.
But just when the painter was about to start painting, there was a big problem.
Now, before we find out what is the big problem, let's find out how to solve the problem that might come with colors, because colors are adjectives, and when they describe a noun, they must match in gender and also in number with the noun they describe. For example, la manzana roja, el libro rojo, las sillas rojas, los zapatos rojos. Now, it is very important to know that all the colors have to match the noun they describe in number, which means singular or plural. But when it comes to gender, some colors are neutral, which means that it does not matter if the noun is masculine or feminine. They stay neutral. For example, la mesa azul, el coche azul, las camisas azules, los pantalones azules. Now on my right side are the colors that change both in gender and in number. And on my left side are the colors that only change in number and not in gender. Now that we solved the gender and the number of the Spanish colors, let's go back to the story and find out what is the big problem.
You see, the problem was that his wife wanted the outside to be painted
Verde y rojo.
She wanted their son's room to be painted
Gris y azul.
and their daughter's room to be
Amarillo y morado.
She also wanted the kitchen to be painted
Morado y verde.
and the bathroom to be
Azul marino.
and when it comes to the living room and the dining room, she wanted the living room to be painted,
blanco,
and the dining room to be painted,
anaranjado,
and for the hallway and the guest room, she said.
azul cielo,
For the hallway and
verde,
for the guest room. Now, as for the room that belongs to her and her husband, she wanted it to be painted.
azul y blanco.
They both became so angry that they had an argument which almost ended their marriage.
Sorry, just one more thing. Now, there is a structure you have to follow if you want to know what color something is. And if the color you want to find out is singular, you use this structure right here. And if the color of the thing that you try to find out is plural, then you use that structure over there. For example, ¿de qué color es tu camisa? ¿De qué color son tus zapatos? And the way to answer the question will be, mi camisa es verde and mis zapatos son negros. Now that we got that out of the way, back to the story.
Now, after 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 2 seconds later, they both decided to paint the outside.
Blanco y rojo.
Their son's room, painted,
Azul y negro.
and their daughter's room, to be painted.
Amarillo y rosa.
They also painted the kitchen,
Blanco y morado.
and the bathroom,
Anaranjado y azul cielo.
and when it comes to the living room and the dining room, they painted the living room,
Azul marino.
and the dining room was painted.
Amarillo.
And for the hallway and the guest room, they painted the hallway
Gris.
and the guest room.
Verde.
Now, as for the room that belonged to them, they painted.
Amarillo y marrón.
And, at the end, Mr. Rainbow was happy. His wife was happy. The kids were also happy. And the painter was very happy because he got paid.
Now, when it comes to the Spanish color, the more you use it, the easier it will become. Homework, marron means brown, but there is also another Spanish word you can use to say brown. Find out which word is that and put it down in the comment. And as always, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Muchas gracias y nos vemos.